St. Helena, Island of Exile, Empire, and Unspoken Histories. The Enigma of St. Helena. In the heart of the South Atlantic, there lies a small, rugged island that has been a silent witness to some of the most extraordinary chapters of world history. Welcome to St. Helena, an island of exile, empire, and unspoken histories. Napoleon's exile, the beginning of the end. Napoleon was in exile on the island of St. Helena, a remote British territory in the South Atlantic Ocean. He had been sent there by the British government after his defeat at the Battle of Waterloo in 1815. Once the master of Europe, he realized his fate was sealed. The British had chosen one of the most remote places on earth for his exile, a clear message that his era of power was over. The journey of this fallen emperor to St. Helena was not just a personal tragedy, but a symbol of the shifting tides of power in the 19th century. Was Napoleon ever married? Did he have children at the time of his exile? Napoleon was married twice in his lifetime. His first marriage was to Joséphine de Beauharnais in 1796. Joséphine had 2 children from her previous marriage, but she and Napoleon did not have any children together. Their marriage endured many challenges, including Napoleon's military campaigns and Joséphine's inability to bear him a child, which was a significant concern for Napoleon, who was keen on having an heir. In 1810, seeking an heir and to strengthen his alliance with other European powers, Napoleon divorced Joséphine and married Marie-Louise, the daughter of the Emperor of Austria, Francis II. In 1811, Marie-Louise gave birth to Napoleon's only legitimate child, Napoleon Francois-Joseph Charles Bonaparte, who was given the title King of Rome at birth. This child is often referred to as Napoleon II, although he never actually ruled France. After Napoleon's defeat at the Battle of Waterloo in 1815 and his subsequent exile to St. Helena, Napoleon's exile separated him from his then wife and only child. Marie-Louise and their son did not accompany him to St. Helena. After his exile, Napoleon Bonaparte did not marry again, nor have any more children. Death of his son. Napoleon Bonaparte's son, Napoleon Francois-Joseph Charles Bonaparte II, died on July 22, 1832, at the age of 21. His cause of death was tuberculosis, a common and often fatal infectious disease during that era. His son spent most of his life in Austria and was known there as Franz, Duke of Reichstadt. After the fall of Napoleon Bonaparte, he was taken to Vienna and raised at the Austrian court, largely under the influence and supervision of his grandfather, Emperor Francis I of Austria. His life in Austria was relatively secluded, and he had little political influence. The young man showed early signs of delicate health, and his condition worsened in his late teens. The tuberculosis that eventually claimed his life was a disease that had no effective treatment at the time. His early death added a tragic note to the legacy of Napoleon Bonaparte, with his only legitimate son never able to fulfill the potential role in European politics that might have been expected from the heir of such a prominent figure. Napoleon, during his time in exile, lived a relatively isolated life, with a small group of loyal followers, and was closely monitored by the British authorities. Napoleon's health gradually deteriorated, and he died in 1821 on St. Helena. As mentioned earlier, his son, Napoleon II, died in 1832 at the age of 21, and Marie-Louise eventually remarried. The island's strategic importance, a pawn in global politics. St. Helena's history as a strategic outpost predates Napoleon's arrival by centuries. Discovered by Portuguese sailors in 1502, it was a vital resupply point for ships en route to the East Indies, rich with fresh water and vegetation. The island's significance escalated as it became a focal point in the struggle for dominance between European powers. The Dutch and English repeatedly fought over St. Helena, reflecting its importance in the global game of maritime supremacy. Fortress St. Helena, the bastion of the British Empire. The British, having secured control of St. Helena, transformed it into a formidable fortress. The construction of High Knoll Fort and other fortifications around the island was a testament to its value. These massive structures, designed to repel any invasion, speak volumes about the island's role as a guardian of British interests in the Atlantic. The final years of Napoleon, a fallen emperor's refuge. In Longwood House, Napoleon spent his final years, a stark contrast to his once glorious life. Despite the isolation and his declining health, he maintained a semblance of imperial dignity. Napoleon Bonaparte, one of history's most renowned figures, died on May 5, 1821. The cause of his death has been a topic of historical debate and speculation. The official autopsy conducted at the time stated that he died of stomach cancer. This diagnosis was consistent with the symptoms he exhibited in the last years of his life, such as abdominal pain and discomfort. However, there has been speculation and theories suggesting that he may have been poisoned, possibly with arsenic. But these theories are not universally accepted, and many historians still support the conclusion of stomach cancer as the cause of death. The harsh living conditions and his deteriorating health on the island contributed to his eventual demise. After his death, Napoleon was initially buried on St. Helena. He was laid to rest in a tomb in the Valley of the Willows, also known as Geranium Valley, a site he had reportedly chosen himself. However, in 1840, nearly 2 decades after his death, his remains were exhumed by the French under the orders of King Louis Philippe. His body was transported back to France and entombed in a grand ceremony at Les Invalides in Paris, where it remains to this day. Les Invalides, also known as Hôtel National des Invalides, is a complex of buildings in Paris containing museums and monuments, all relating to the military history of France. Napoleon's tomb is located under the dome and is a major tourist attraction. The sarcophagus is made of red quartzite and rests on a green granite base, symbolizing his military and political impact on France and the world. His death in 1821 marked the end of an era, leaving behind a legacy intertwined with the island's history. Was Napoleon allowed to see his wife and son prior to his death? Napoleon never saw his wife, Marie-Louise, or his son again. His exile to St. Helena, one of the most remote islands in the world, effectively cut him off from his family and most of his former associates. The British government, keen to prevent any possibility of Napoleon's escape or return to power, imposed strict conditions on his exile, limiting his contact with the outside world. Marie-Louise, who was an Austrian princess, returned to her native Austria with their son after Napoleon's first abdication in 1814. After his final defeat in 1815 and subsequent exile, Marie-Louise was given the Duchy of Parma to rule by the Congress of Vienna, and she and their son resided in Austria. They did not travel to St. Helena during Napoleon's exile, nor did they attend any funeral services for him after his death in 1821. Helena and the transatlantic slave trade. The island's role in the transatlantic slave trade reveals a darker chapter of its history. St. Helena served as a haven for the liberated Africans rescued by the British Royal Navy from illegal slave ships. However, the island became a place of suffering for many of these Africans, who faced harsh conditions and high mortality rates in settlements like Rupert's Valley. Prisoners from distant lands, Zulus and Boers. St. Helena's history as a place of exile extends beyond Napoleon. The island also served as a prison for Zulu leaders and later Boer prisoners of war during the South African War. These prisoners, far from their homelands, left an indelible mark on the island's history and culture. Legacy of St. Helena, a microcosm of world history. Today, St. Helena stands as a microcosm of world history. The island has witnessed the rise and fall of empires, served as a crucial link in maritime trade, and been a silent observer to the human cost of colonialism and war. Its landscape, dotted with historical sites and cemeteries, tells a story of resilience, tragedy, and the ever-changing tides of human history. Reflecting on St. Helena's place in history. As we reflect on the story of St. Helena, we are reminded of the complexities and interconnectedness of our past. This remote island, a speck in the vast Atlantic, has been a stage for some of history's most significant events. It's a reminder of how even the most isolated places can have a profound impact on the global narrative. And that brings us to the end of our journey through the remarkable history of St. Helena. From its days as a strategic outpost to its role in the life and final days of Napoleon, this island's story is a testament to the intricate weave of global history. As we reach the end of our journey exploring the enigmatic St. Helena, we hope you've been captivated by the island's profound history and its echoes through time. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the past and are curious about more hidden stories from history, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Your support helps us continue to bring intriguing historical narratives to light. Before you go, we'd love to hear your thoughts. If you could visit any historical site in the world, where would it be and why? Share your answers in the comments below. We're excited to read about the places that fascinate you. Thank you for watching Facts Intrigue. Until next time, keep exploring the intriguing facets of our world's history. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more fascinating stories from the annals of history. Until next time, keep seeking the intriguing facts that lie hidden in our world's past.